And now here's my interviews from The Stone Witch with Shem Bitterman, the writer, Steve Zuckerman, the director, and Rupak Ginn, who plays Peter Chandler. And they're talking about Dan Lauria. When they're saying Dan, they're talking about Dan Lauria. And Carol McCormick is in it too.
Shem Bitterman.
Oh, you're the playwright.
I am. I'm the playwright.
Oh my gosh, how did you come up with this idea in the first place?
This play had a bit of a gestation period. I started because my grandmother used to live on 63rd and 3rd. And as I was walking down the street, there's that wonderful little museum called the Society of Illustrators. And I saw that name on that museum plate, and I said, oh, that's a great title for a play. So that began my thinking. And then also when I was young, I used to know Stella Adler quite a bit. And she became the model of that kind of behavior that I wanted to sort of write about, you know, the character of a great person with big size. And I wanted to write about sort of that world before it disappeared.
That's why it was so moving.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
But explain who Bella is. Wait, you know what? First of all, let's go into the plot.
Oh, the plot? You want to know the plot?
The plot.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, I'll tell you a little bit of the plot.
That way I won't give it away too much. You see, if I have the author do it, then I don't have to worry about spoiler alert.
Okay, well, it's all a spoiler alert, but the story is about a young kid who's hired by he's enticed by a magazine publisher to go and help an older children's book illustrator and writer to write a book, and she's been waiting for this book for 12 years, so he's brought in to kind of help get this out of the elderly gentleman. And the guy is a great guy. He's one of the seminal figure, and it's about their relationship and sort of what they both wind up giving each other over the course of, you know, several weeks. And the older guy, he initially appears very virile and strong, but over time you begin to discover other things about him. And it's really about this sort of relationship that's maybe a last best chance for both of them in a same way.
And the projections just were so incredible.
Did I do an okay job?
Oh, yeah, fantastic. And the projections were just amazing.
Yeah, aren't they beautiful? They're really. It's been a wonderful collaboration with a wonderful team of collaborators, from the guy who wrote the music, Roger Bellon, who I've worked with, done 6 or 7 plays with. I've worked with the director. I've done 8 or 9 plays with that director, Steve Zuckerman, and then we have. The set designer, Yael Pardes, is somebody I know from LA. I've never worked with her before, but we're friends through mutual friends, and she did all the illustrations and as well as the set design. And so it's been a great dream team of collaborators, and everybody's sort of attuned to one another's style.
Oh, that explains why it's so perfect.
Oh, thanks.
Well,
So sweet.
well, congratulations and good.
Steve Zuckerman.
And you are the
Director
of the Stone Witch.
of The Stone Witch, yes.
So how did you get involved in this wonderful project?
I've been working with Shem for 30 years. This is the 7th play that we've done together. We've written 2 screenplays together, and we're very good friends. And so it was not hard to get involved with this particular play, or the last 7 plays that we've done together.
So are you involved? Do you like fairy tales and children's stories?
I'm a big science fiction fan and fantasy fan, and but that wasn't the impetus for me to get involved in it. It's more just the creative element and finding that fine line between creativity and madness, which Simon personifies so beautifully. You know, the character and Dan's performance. You know, he wavers back and forth between being totally sane and
Lost in his own world.
and very perceptive, to being chased by demons, and that's not uncommon with many artists. And so that's the thing that attracted me most to this particular project.
You know, CBS Sunday Morning News just did an entire story about that.
Really? I mean, well,
It's actually statistically that most artists really have a mad side to them.
absolutely. Goethe, you know, it's actually Goethe's theory You know, and he wrote extensively about that fine line between genius and madness, and it's the ability to look at the world through a different prism, you know, which creates things that normal people wouldn't create.
And have this amazing imagination.
Exactly.
Well, you just put this together so beautifully. I was just saying, the projections, the actors, everything just worked so beautifully to tell this.
Music is very important.
I know, the music just made me want to cry in the very beginning.
I know, it's beautiful. And so
it sets up the whole little fantasy, magical element.
right, and that's important, because there's parts of this play that are very realistic, and there are parts of this play that are not, you know, and that's what allows it to breathe and be bigger than a little play. It's a big, I keep on saying it's a big little play, or a little big play. I'm not so sure which one.
That's I'll let that get the last word, because I can't do better than that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just like you were made to go to that guy.
I suffered. But it was great. It was worth it. I mean, Dan Lauria. Who doesn't want to suffer with Dan Lauria?
Suffer for your art.
That's right.
So here we are
With Rupak Ginn.
and you play the part of,
Peter Chandler in The Stone Witch.
and you have a children illustrator in your own right, and you have to help this elderly gentleman out.
Yes, it's so hard because he hasn't been able to write for 12 years. He's got this massive writer's block. He's got all sorts of psychoses, and he's not able to do it. And his editor sends me up to see if I can sort of coax it out of him.
Yeah, it's the old guy, young guy genre.
Yeah, that's right. It's an old guy, young guy bromance. That's what I call it. Yeah.
And where you both come to an understanding.
Yes. Yes, actually, what's great about it is that it's a two-way street, and there's this idea that the old can teach the young, but the young can teach the old, and we inspire each other, and that's what I love, the message of collaboration around that.
And I love the fact that you use your Stone Witch, which you've been for 8 years. I mean, he's 12, you're 8. That's like 20 years of like.
That's a lot of writer's block.
But did the Stone Witch you finally write, do you think it was the actual Stone Witch you were working on that your mother told you?
You know, it probably had elements of that, but I'm positive that it changed via my experience of Simon, via Peter's experience of Simon. It definitely changed. That's actually crucial to the story, is that he comes in with something, but then via spending time with this genius, it changes, you know?
And you did inspire him with the honey tree.
Oh yeah, I definitely take some credit for the honey trees.
Although actually, I think the jasmine pearl should get the credit.
That's right. Love the tea bit. People like that tea bit. I love it too.
There's nothing like a good spit take.
That's how. I'm glad you caught that. You were paying attention.
Yes. So do you like, what's your favorite fairy tale?
Oh gosh. So the first one that comes to mind, strangely, I don't know if it's my favorite, is Hansel and Gretel. But I like it. I was also scared by it. Maybe it's just a bit of a stone witch, right? Because they get teased into this place and then get trapped, and then they have to work together to get out of it.
And there's an oven in it.
There's an oven. That's what it was.
And food, because she eats the stone, and you become what you consume, and the children consume candy, and you become sweet.
You must be a children's book writer, clearly.
Well, I dabble.
But that was it. Look, I love all fairy tales. I'm a big fan of fantasy. Lord of the Rings, like all that's Hobbit, mythology. I'm a huge fan. So this is right up my alley.
And I mean, and the thing is, even though they're serious and all, you guys had so much fun playing up there with your soldiers and sparring with each other. I mean, it was really, the connection between you was so palpable.
I'm glad to hear that. Well, it's real. I mean, Dan's a fantastic guy. Off stage, we just had a lot of fun together. So we just brought it on stage, and you gotta have fun. If you're not having fun, it's not worth it, you know? The life of an artist is too risky for it not to be fun.
Well, you are in good company and good everything, and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.